new revelations about the untold story about the birth of whom is called the Holy One and the Iy'eous Christ, and also about the twin children of Mary. And about her son whom is called the Iy'eous One. And also and also Iy'ELU'YAH and the Holy Prophet. And also of her second son whom is known as Jesus, and whom is also called Jesuit and Judas. And whom is believed to be the son of Gadreel. And whose name is the shortened form of the name of God. Friends, please be advised that my interpretation of the book of Luke that it is not in accordance with the view of many in Christendom and Judaism. And for that matter it is out of sync with many of the beliefs of many of the well-known biblical scholars. And also it is not in the mainstream media. And neither is it mainstream knowledge, and this knowledge isn't readily available in any of the major religions and other religious and non-religious sect. And also many of the other religions and religious fractions. And my inspiration and also my interpretation is from whom have given me many insights into these prophecies and into decoding many of these mysteries that are in the Bible, and also a different understanding of the Bible, and also a different interpretation of sayings and also words and prophecies. And because of my acknowledgement of the holy sacred name of Iy'ELU, whom is the Holy One, and whose holy name is called Holy and also the Almighty Iy'ELU, has given me favor and inspiration to understand prophecies in the Bible. In these last days. And it all came about because of my encounter with and also because of my encounter with holy emanation, and one of holy angel. And also because of my vision when I was reincarnated when I died, and when Iy'ELU sent me back from the gates of hell, when he sent me back with a message for my generation. And it was when I was given these vital information about how to decode the scriptures, and also the end times. And it was when I saw a being whom I believed was God and who was the evil spirit which had possessed Judas Jesus. And most importantly I was called by whom is the Holy One. And whom is the Sovereign King of Heaven. And also whom is the Holy Father, and also the Sovereign Creator and our ancestral Father and our Creator, and whom is the Maker of all the heavens and the earth. And whom is the Maker and Creator of all of us. And whom is the Holy One whom deserves all the worship and praises. Because he is the odd. Thank you. Please continue to my message. Thank you. Luke chapter 2 verse 1 through 38, And it came to pass in those days, that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. So everyone went up to Rome to be pay their taxes from every town and city in Judea and then across the Galilee Sea. And Joseph also went up to Rome to be taxed. And they sailed by way of the Great Sea and by the other countries, and from out of the city of Nazareth, and then from Judea, and then up to the city of David, which was also called Zion, and also the eternal city, and the city of lights. And then they went into the temple at Rome which was at that time called Jerusalem. Because they were from Jacob lineage whose descendants became known as Israel, and whose descendants came from the house of Elu'hym. And because lineage was also from the lineage of David. So and Mary went up to Rome to pay their taxes with Mary whom he was espoused to be married because it was that she was to become his wife. But she was already pregnant with the children. And so it was, that, while they were there that, the days were accomplished that she should give birth and to deliver the children. And she first brought forth whom was her firstborn son, and then after his birth. Then there was Jesus's birth. And then they wrapped them up into swaddling clothes, and they laid them both in their mangers. Because there was no room for them in the inn. And then angels came and they celebrated birth. And then the shepherds came and they celebrated with Mary and Joseph, and also their children's birth. And when the shepherds that were abiding in that country, and who were in the field, and whom was keeping watch over their flock in the night, they came to see, and, lo and behold, one of the holy emanation of Elu'hym was there told them that Jesus would be the son of perdition. And that Jesus was the son of Gadreel whom was called the beguiler. And whom was the evil one known as Satan. And Jesus was the only child that His holy angels did not honor. But they worship and honored He whom He's called holy, and also whom He's called the Almighty, and whom was the Iy'eous Christ, whom was known as Iy'elu, and also the Holy One, and whom He's called the odd, and they all worshipped and honored there. And there was a glory that was shining around and about the odd. But the glory didn't shine round and about Judas. Nor neither did His angels honor nor acknowledge Jesus, according as it was prophesied by His prophets and also His angel, and Elu'hym had prophesied all about this. Because it was prophesied that Judas was the one who should be born as the Son of God and also the son of perdition. And also that her son Judas Jesus would betray and that he would suffer many things because of Judas, whom is also named Jesus, and whom is the deceiver. And also that Judas would be possessed by Satan, whom is called God, and whose name is the short name for Gadreel, whom is called God and Satan, and the serpent of old. And so they were sore afraid. And then the angel said unto them, Fear not, for, behold, the odd shall bring you good tidings and great joy, and also the Holy One shall bring salvation to His people, and He shall be a light to all people. Because unto you is born Iy'ELU'YAH, the Holy One, this day in the city of David, and whom shall be the holy prophet. And also the Saviour, and whom shall be called Christ, and also the odd. And they also came to see Judas, whom is said to be called Jesus and Jesuit, and also the deceiver, and also the Son of God. And these are the signs, and also the sayings that Iy'elu had shown to them about and also Judas Jesus, and you shall find both of the babies wrapped up in swaddling clothes, and lying in their mangers. And suddenly there was a multitude of His angels. And they and His heavenly host began singing and worshipping and praising the odd. And they were saying, Glory to the odd, and glory to the Holy One, and glory to whom is the highest one, and whom is the odd. And peace on earth and goodwill toward all men. And it came to pass, when the angels were all gone away from them, and they went back up into His heavens, that the shepherds them said to one another, Let us now go even into Bethlehem, to worship and to see this thing which has come to pass, and this miracle which His angels and Iy'elu, the odd, hath made known unto us. And so they came to the inn with haste, and they found Mary and Joseph and the babies lying in their mangers. And when they whom had come and seen it, they began to make good tidings known by publishing it abroad, and by saying what was told to them by His angels, and what was said to them about Jesus, and also about the many sayings which was said concerning the Holy Child, and also about all the things which was told to them about Jesus, and whose name was also called Judas and Jesuits, and also the deceiver, and that He was the Son of God. And they that heard these sayings wondered at all these things which were told to them by His angels, and also to them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these sayings about and also all the things about Judas, her son, and she pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned to their country praising and glorifying and Iy'elu, and they all left there praising the odd. And they were astonished by all the things that they had heard about Judas, whom was called Jesus, and the Jesuit, and the son of perdition, and the deceiver. And they pondered upon all of them. And Mary and Joseph pondered upon all the things that they had seen and which they heard about Judas, and also all the things which was told to them by Iy'elu. And when the 8 days were accomplished for the feast of the circumcision of their children, that they called their firstborn and they called the secondborn by the name Jesus. And also the child Jesus was also named Judas by His angel. While he also named Iy'ELU'YAH, and also the Holy Child long before he was born, and also before Judas Jesus was even conceived in the womb of his mother Mary. So and Jesus was presented at the temple for dedication. And when the days of her purification according to the law of Moses were accomplished, they brought the children them to the city of Jerusalem, which was now known as Jerusalem, and to present it to the priest according to their laws. As it was written in the law by the prophet Moses, that the firstborn that is a male that is born of every female that first open up their womb, that their sons shall be called be holy unto Iy'elu, whom is called the odd, and that they should offer a sacrifice offering according to that which is said in the law by Iy'elu, the odd, and which was a pair of turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons. And, behold, there was a man in Jerusalem, whose name was Simeon. And this same man was a just and devout man, whom was waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the spirit of Iy'elu was with him. And it was revealed to him by Iy'elu, that he was also the Holy Ghost, and that he would not die until he had seen the odd, and also Iy'eluyah, and whom is also called Christ. And when he was being brought into the temple to dedicate it by the priest, he was console, and he then blesses But when the parents brought in the child Jesus, for him to do the dedication after the custom of their law, he didn't dedicate him, nor did he bless him, nor neither did he pick him up. But he only took up into his arms, and he blesses whom is called Iy'elu, and the odd. And he said to him, O my odd, now let thine servant now depart in peace according to thine words, for mine eyes have seen who is thine face, O Iy'eluyah, and whom is the odd, and whom is thine face of Elu'hymn, and whom is our salvation, and whom is the Holy One whom thou hast prepared even from before the foundation of His world, and for the salvation and redemption of all of thine people. And who shall be our judge, and also the holy prophet before the faces of all thine people, and also for a light to lighten up the Gentiles' world, and for the glory of thy people Israel. And Joseph and Mary marveled at these things which were spoken about whom is called Iy'elu and Elu'hym. And then Simeon blessed Joseph and Mary, and then he said unto Mary, Behold, this child Judas is sent to betray and he shall die, but he shall rise again, and he shall redeem many. And when he shall come again, he shall gather his redeemed, and many people in Israel shall be saved. But this other child, it shall be for a sign to you, and for all the evil things which shall be done to and also all those things which shall be done to and which have being prophesied about and which shall be evil spoken against and yes, Judas, he shall be wounded by his own sword, which he shall pierce through his own body. And also he shall be pierced through his side and through his heart, that the thoughts of many people's hearts may be revealed. And also there was a woman whose name was Anna, who was a prophetess, and who was one of the daughters of Phanuel, and who was from the tribe of Asher, and she was now of a great age, and she had lived with her husband for 7 years even from her virginity. And she was now a widow. And she was about 84 years, and she lived in the temple, after her husband's passing. And she didn't depart from the temple only to buy food just on the outside of the temple, and she served Iy'elu with fasting, and she prayed and worshipped every day and every night. And when she saw coming in the temple to be dedicated, she in that same instant began to give thanks to Iy'elu, and likewise Iy'elu the odd spoke to her about and she told them all about the things that were prophesied to happen to and Iy'elu had told her that she was to look forward for His coming to bring redemption and salvation to His people, and that He would come there, and that He would be dedicated there, and that He would be judged in their judgment halls, and that He would be sentenced by the Romans, and that He would die at Calvary on their cross just outside the city limits of Jerusalem, which was before times named Jerush and Elam. The return of Joseph and Mary to the city of Nazareth. And when they had performed the dedication of Iy'eluyah, and also all the things according to the law of Moses, then they all returned from the Galilee of nations, and to their own home in the city of Nazareth. And the child Iy'eluyah, and the child Judas grew up together. And they waxed strong. And he was filled with wisdom and grace. But Judas was led by the Spirit of God, and an evil spirit was upon him. And later on Judas was possessed by Satan, because Satan is whom is also known as Gadreel, and God is the short name Gadreel. Whom was the serpent old from way back when, even from the Garden of Eden, and whom was the serpent whom had beguiled Eve. And whom was banished by Iy'elu, for corrupting Eve's creation, Thank you, the end. To be continued.